People think being a princess is all about gowns and balls, endless luxury and charm. They're not wrong, but they are missing something vital: the boredom. Day after day of rehearsed smiles, empty conversations, and ceremonial obligations, it feels like I'm living in a never-ending parade, and I'm trapped on the float. I'd always been a voracious reader, though no one seemed to notice. While the other noble ladies prattled on about suitors or dresses, I was secretly tucking adventure novels into the folds of my skirts. Spies, mysteries, and covert missions, they made my heart race in a way no courtier ever had. I wanted more than this life. I wanted danger. It wasn't long before my curiosity became an obsession. And then, an opportunity. One evening, I overheard something curious while wandering the palace halls. Two of the king's advisors were whispering in the shadows about a conspiracy, some plot against the crown. The idea sent a thrill through me. For once, something real. Something that mattered. I wanted to be a part of it. I began gathering information, using my position to slip into places I wasn't meant to go. A ball became the perfect cover to eavesdrop on foreign dignitaries. The library, a place to scan secret documents. My ladies-in-waiting, who had once seemed so idle, turned out to be excellent sources of palace gossip, which, when listened to closely, revealed far more than idle chatter. It was exhilarating, more exciting than I had ever imagined. I started calling myself the Nightingale, after the character from one of my favorite books. Of course, I told no one. It was my secret. One night, everything changed. It was late, and the palace was quiet. I crept through the hallways with my hood drawn, moving toward the chamber where I knew an important meeting was taking place. I had overheard that a foreign agent was present, someone involved in the very conspiracy I had been tracking. My heart pounded as I pressed my ear to the door. For weeks, I had been piecing together fragments, and tonight, I would finally uncover the truth. The voices were hushed, but one phrase stood out clearly. The princess. She's more dangerous than she appears. I froze. They were talking about me. My first instinct was to laugh. How could they know? No one had ever suspected me of anything more than being the quiet, obedient royal daughter. But then another voice spoke. She's been digging too deep. Her little games can't continue. We need to eliminate her. Quietly. I had to clamp my hand over my mouth to stop a gasp. I was a spy, yes, but I hadn't truly understood the stakes until that moment. This wasn't a game anymore. These weren't fictional villains from the pages of my novels. These were real men, plotting real deaths, my death. My mind raced. My options were few, and none were good. I could run, but they would find me. I could expose them, but without proof, no one would believe me. I had spent too long pretending to be harmless. Then I had an idea, risky but brilliant. I took a deep breath and straightened my cloak. I knocked on the door. When the men opened it, their expressions flickered with surprise. But I didn't give them time to react. I know everything, I said, my voice steady, though inside I was trembling. And if anything happens to me, if anything happens, there are letters, sent to every noble house, detailing your treachery. I was bluffing, of course. There were no letters, no evidence to send. But they didn't know that. The foreign agent's eyes narrowed, but he didn't speak. One of the king's advisors, a man I had long suspected, looked pale. What do you want? I want this plot to end, I said. No more schemes. No more threats. And in return, I'll keep your secret. There was a tense silence, but after a moment, they nodded. It was done. I had won. As I turned to leave, the agent's voice stopped me. You're not just a princess, are you? I smiled, a real one this time. No. I'm not. And from that day forward, I wasn't just Princess Althea. I was the Nightingale, a secret shadow in the court, always watching, always listening.